I thought it was only appropriate that we gave out the Heisman Trophy this past weekend, and Josh Allen had his Heisman moment for the MVP of the NFL. We'll get to both of those coming up in a moment. 877-3DP-SHOW, email address dp@danpatrick.com. Twitter handle at DP Show, play of the day, stat of the day, poll question, all of that forthcoming. We've got football coming up tonight. It'll be the Bears and the Vikings. The Bears are getting 7 against the Vikings. The Falcons are giving 5.5 to the pesky Raiders. Speaking of the MVP race, I think it's over. I think it's been over for a while. We were trying to make it a race. It's Josh Allen, followed by Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen, a prohibitive favorite, according to DraftKings. Then it's Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, and Jared Goff. Seton, what's the poll question that we have today before we start to dive into who's joining us on the program?
Well, why don't we start with who had the worst weekend?
Ooh, we're going negative.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? Right out of the gate.
All right.
That's the best. How about Army football? That's not great.
Well, they were favored by 6.5, but Navy was a whole lot better than Army over the weekend. Gary Danielson was on the call for CBS. Gary, who had a great game. He'll join us coming up a little bit later on. Yeah, that was a bad loss because Army undefeated. Hey, maybe they get into the playoffs. Hey, maybe how are they going to do against Notre Dame? They got roughed up. And then you got roughed up against Navy as well. Navy was the better team, certainly on Saturday. Anybody else in there?
Well, you could put the Detroit Lions on there. You could more specifically put the Detroit Lions defense on there.
Boy.
They had a terrible weekend.
Yes, they did. And Josh Allen took advantage of that. So the Bills, they're going to score points. They are the first team to score at least 30 points in 8 consecutive games in a single season. Last time that happened, the 2013 Broncos.
Woo! Ow! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! This is the stat of the day!
Brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the program. Here's my concern with the Buffalo Bills. If you somehow have a subpar Josh Allen performance in the playoffs, given the fact that that defense is not great, they put up points on offense, the defense just kind of hangs on for the ride, kind of like what you have in Detroit. But Josh Allen's going to be your MVP, and he's doing things that haven't been done in a long, long, long time. How about this? The only quarterback in the last 50 years to have 3 straight games, he wasn't sacked, no fumbles, no interceptions, no negative plays from scrimmage. And that's why Dan Campbell went for the onside kick. Now, this is how it sounded yesterday on the Bills radio network.
Bates kicks it, and it bounces, takes the high hop, and it's covered by Hollins. He's going the other way, 15, 10, and he's upended at the 6-yard line. Oh, I thought the barefoot wonder was going to get to the end zone. Tripped up at the 4 as the onside kick goes horribly wrong for the Lions.
Okay, there's 12 minutes to go. They're down 10. Dan Campbell realizes we're not stopping Josh Allen. Now, the problem that I have with the onside kick is if you're going to do it at 12 minutes to go or, any time after like 5 minutes in a game, you should be able to surprise the opposition. If it's the final minute, then you can let them know you're going to have an onside kick. If you said that you were going to have an onside kick in that moment and you didn't have to tell the Buffalo Bills, then I understand the logic with Detroit because they wouldn't have, you're not expecting an onside kick with 12 minutes to go and the team is down by 10. That's the problem with the rule. Hey, we would normally be surprising you, surprise, but we can't surprise you. We're going to surprise you. We're going to tell you it's like when you tell somebody there's a surprise party for them and then they have to go in and act surprised. So they basically just said to the Buffalo Bills, hey, surprise, we're going to have an onside kick with 12 minutes to go. You got to fix that. Like there has to be, I'm okay with the kickoff. Like I'm not thrilled about it, but we've seen some returns. There's some movement. There's some strategy there. But with the onside kick, and I know they're worried about these collisions. I get it. There's going to be collisions. I mean, there is collateral damage. It's football. But when I announce that it's going to happen, You can still have collisions. So why not make it a surprise? Okay? Hey, 12 minutes to go. They've never got attempt on onside kick. Here's Dan Campbell on why he attempted the onside kick.
I thought we'd get the possession. I thought we were going to get that ball. It's one of Bates' best kicks that I've seen him have. That was a big kicker at the end. That thing took a good jump on us, and Hollis made a heck of a play on it. And, obviously now sitting here hindsight after them taking it down to the 3-yard line, yeah, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but it is what it is.
Is that the best compliment you can give Josh Allen? So when somebody says, hey, why does Josh Allen deserve the MVP? 12 minutes to go, you're down 10 at home. You're the Lions, one of the highest scoring offenses, and you decide an onside kick because you can't stop Josh Allen. And that's the truth. That's what happened yesterday. All right, Seton. So who else do we have in there? Yes.
Is that because Josh Allen is so good or your defense is so bad?
I think it's a combination. Yeah. I mean, the injuries have decimated the Detroit Lions. Josh Allen has been spectacular, but he's been taking care of the ball. I mean, it's really simple because you look at that offense, and if I said, okay, tell me all the great names on that offense. Exactly. They're not great names. They're good. They're not great. He's great. And he's finally put it together where this is what people thought the last couple of years, where they're like, hey, Josh Allen MVP. Josh Allen MVP. Kept trying to shove it down our throats. Don't need to this year. They came into the season as an underdog. I mean, that's a big-time win. And I know Detroit's depleted. Buffalo's defense was depleted to start the year. And then you get rid of Stephon Diggs, and we're wondering, Josh Allen has no weapons. They can run the ball. And certainly what he does when he has it in his hands, I mean, and you don't hear any drama. It's just they're playing football. In Detroit, I mean, Jared Goff has had one of those statistical anomalies where you throw 5 interceptions and win, you throw 5 touchdowns and you lose. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of the game that a quarterback has had that in one season. But for Jared Goff, they put up numbers. It's a fun team. If you said that's our Super Bowl, I think everybody would say, well, Kansas City fans wouldn't. And we have the yearly Patrick Mahomes ankle injury. It just, it has to happen because he's got to battle through something and then he'll win another Super Bowl. It's like, when is Patrick Mahomes going to have his ankle injury? Yeah, he just had it. Yes, Marvin.
We're on year 2 of, the Chiefs are down. The Bills, the Ravens, they have to win it this year. We're going to go on maybe 4 straight years of the Chiefs being down and being beatable and then winning a Super Bowl still.
Yeah, this is where you're going to look back, and if you don't capitalize this year in the AFC and knock them out, when are you going to knock them out? Yeah, Seton.
I think it's actually too late. You already were supposed to knock the Chiefs out. You were supposed to take care of this in the first 8 weeks of the season, and nobody did. And now, to me, it almost feels like too late. Like they're just rolling. I get the ankle injury, I get all that, but it's like that train has left the station. They're already rolling downhill.
And Mahomes is day to day, but you want to keep that home field advantage. And the Chiefs probably thought, you know what, Buffalo will get knocked off here, give us a little bit more of a cushion here. You want to have that home field advantage. You're Kansas City. Yeah, Paulie.
Yeah, it just checks. Seton's right. If the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs, there's no way they could win the Super Bowl. So he's correct on that one.
Yep.
Okay.
That was your chance.
Yep. Okay.
Was getting rid of them early.
Yes, Todd.
And several teams lost close games to them. They lose 1 or 2 of those games. You're opening the door for the Bills to have home field throughout the playoffs, and then it becomes more likely maybe the Bills go to the Super Bowl.
877-3DP show, operator standing by. Actually, Tyler is sitting by, and he'll take your phone calls. Any other candidates who had a bad weekend, Seton?
Oh, of course, there's a million. How about the Steelers? Steelers didn't have a great weekend.
When the Eagles held the ball for 11 minutes to close out the game, that's almost like if you're watching Army play football or Navy and they're going to eat up the clock for 8 minutes. That just decimates you. I mean, I thought the Eagles would win. I'm always curious, can they win without any drama? And it felt like things are better-ish there with Philadelphia. I just didn't understand when Jalen Hurts goes to the press conference, and before they start the press conference, he's saying basically, so is that what you guys were looking for? Huh? Yeah, it's not us. We didn't start the controversy in Philadelphia, Jalen. You and your teammates did. And yes, is it asking too much for a guy making $50 million to have a couple of touchdown passes and maybe a touchdown run? I guess, because he's asking the media, is that what you wanted? This isn't about the media. It's about you and your teammates. Yes, Seton.
The last drive of that game, the Eagles took over on their own 3-yard line with 10 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And took up all to like 10 minutes and 29 seconds, basically.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There were a couple other teams that did not have a good weekend. The Chargers. Chargers did not have a good weekend. You got the number one scoring defense. Tampa goes cross country and roughs you up. That was a big surprise there. Tampa's one of those teams, just like the Rams, you don't want to face them in the playoffs. Now, the Rams got to get in, but it feels like, Tampa, Baker Mayfield's done a great job. Mike Evans coming back certainly helps. They got a running game. They got, their season. They were a playoff team last year, but that one surprised me, that they made it look easy. Well, Chargers were up, and then all of a sudden Tampa came back, and I'm thinking, wow, Tampa, little statement game there. Anybody else to put on the list, Seton, since we're skewing negative first hour?
Well, let's see. Right now we've got Army football, the Detroit Lions. Do we want to say defense or just as a team?
Well, I'll say team.
Well, because Dan Campbell, his whenever something doesn't work out, it's like, I don't know if he's calling the right plays here.
This is who he is, man.
Yeah, I kind of love that. I think if you're on that team, I think you love that it's like we're all in.
I just want to make sure. Okay. I'm not big on analytics. There was a lot of groaning on the other side.
Yeah.
The analytics, or I do love gut feeling of, hey, my team, they can get this first down, or we're going to try the onside kick I didn't like in the moment. I get it. You can't stop Josh Allen. And if you had the element of surprise, then I would say yes, because you wouldn't have expected that. And then, it's already almost mathematically impossible to recover an onside kick. If you look at the analytics, it's not in your favor. If you were able to surprise, then I got it. You didn't. They nearly took it back for a touchdown. They eventually capitalized on that. So, is that our poll question?
Yeah, we could put Tua on there. I don't know if he had a great weekend.
Yeah. Dolphins losing to the Texans. Let me see. Anything else in here? Oh, Packers. The Seahawks at home. That was a big game for them.
Yeah.
You got to win. Yeah. You got to win. No show. No show, Marino. How about that,
nice
Todd?
Callback. No Sean Marino, Bronco running back.
No show.
Thank you, Todd. I don't know where it came from.
I love that.
Thank you, Todd.
So the Seahawks went from atop the NFC West to they're not in the playoffs at all right now. Is that accurate?
I don't know.
I think they've lost their playoff spot as of today. They went from first place NFC West with a win, and they were already in first place going into that game, and now they're not even a wild card team right now.
So the Rams are leading the division.
I believe they are.
Yes, they are. Okay. I don't get caught up in all those details.
Only 3 games left. This is the time to look at these things.
Big game coming up Thursday night.
Oh, that's not the music for Thursday night.
No. What is the music for Thursday?
I don't know, but it's the 9-5 Broncos at the 8-6 Chargers Thursday night, and that's huge.
Todd's got his Bronco gear on. Oh, the pronouns, the Denver pronouns.
We won. We beat the Colts, but they need to beat the Chargers.
We're the fighting pronouns. Yeah.
I love what Todd's they, them, or we, us.
That's what it is. They've got to beat the Bolts in SoFi Thursday night.
Oh, you know who had a bad weekend? Guys who score touchdowns but don't score touchdowns because they don't get over the goal line.
It's a bad weekend for knowing where the goal line is.
God, is that terrible. Terrible. I don't get it.